Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Wailing Blade, issue number 3. God, I love this book. They pissed me off at the end of the book, and I am going to kind of explain that without necessarily giving you a spoiler. But this was still a really good issue, man. They no, I don't think they can afford to do things like this again later on. Let's get talking about who made the book. We'll talk about the book itself. Part 3, Bonebreaker. The writer is Richard Dovek. The artist is Joe Mulvaney. The artist, I just said that, the color artist is Chris Sotomayor, and the letters are done by Taylor Esposito. So this is a Comics Tribe comic book. Go to comicstribe.com. Printed in Korea. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Of course, unless it was done like right on the no man's land section, I'm pretty sure they're talking about South Korea, but what the hell do I know? Anyway, so this was a damn good book, man. You got the Bonebreaker going up against the new for crying out loud, it'd probably help if I remember the name of the guy. There was the stone, the skull crusher. Dude, there's a lot going on. The head taker. There we go. What do you call it? A confrontation, a challenge has been made. The gauntlet has been laid across somebody's cheek. So the Bonebreaker shows up and it's like, dude, I'm gonna take this kill. I don't know if there's any pay for it, but it's definitely the honor of doing it. We saw that somebody, there was this call put out for the Wailing Blade for the head taker to come, and the head taker didn't come, so the Bonebreaker came. What's up with that? Now, mind you, this Tuvok, I don't know what the fat guy's name, all right? The fat, nasty troll guy. That's actually what they call him in the comic book at one point. They say, listen, man, you, my new Wailing Blade wielder, you've got the blade, but you got to understand, this person has been wielding that Bonebreaker, that skull crusher forever. You just got this thing. So you've got to learn how to handle it. And he does a pretty good job. But at the end of the day, he ain't got the experience with it. We actually do get a battle in this. I was expecting they were going to wait until the next issue to show the battle. But no, I was figuring just it was going to be like courtroom drama. No, they actually give us a battle, and I was like, wow. The problem is, it ended, the comic book ended, but the battle didn't. Let me tell you something. When I was around 8, I moved to Ohio. My father was always a huge wrestling fan, and thus I was a wrestling fan. It was the only time I was ever allowed to come indoors while the sun was up, was because wrestling was on. And being in Ohio, we were in a very strategic position because we were able to get WWE, at the time they were called WWF, which is in New York. We used to get the AWA, which was actually my favorite one. And then we also got the NWA, which was the one that Ric Flair was always on. So like we had it all, man. We had 3 major wrestling promotions right where we were, and we get to watch all that wrestling. And you know which my least favorite one was? The one with Ric Flair. It was the with the 4 Horsemen. I was there where the 4 Horsemen first said we're the 4 Horsemen, threw up those 4 sides, and also, and I loved it, right? Why am I talking about wrestling? The main reason why I didn't like NWA, because of all the promotions, they were the one that, even with their great TV time, always showing up 5 minutes after the clock and ending 5 minutes after the clock, they couldn't get the freaking matches straight. And I would say 2 or 3 times out of 5, they ended the show while the final match, the main event, was still going on. I think that they thought more about the ticket sales than anything else. Like, oh, got to show up and buy a ticket, otherwise you might not see the end of the match. And it was poor marketing. Look what happened to the NWA. Yeah. Even before Ted Turner got into the business and only had it airing on his networks. Black Monday, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Look. Was it Black Monday? No, that was Black Tuesday. I think it was Black Tuesday. Black Monday is the stock market crash. Anyway, so I hated the NWA for that. Great matches, but I always expected the main event I was going to be able to see the end. And then look what this comic book goes and does to me. I got baggage, man, and I got triggered by this comic book. I had flashbacks of freaking Tully Blanchard going up against like Hands of Stone Ron Garvin, and all of a sudden, we're out of time. We gotta go. Tony Schiavone, I want to punch you right in your freaking mustached face, man. It was over. It was over. That's what he got. Coitus interruptus. This was a freaking great comic book, but they ended in the middle of the fight. I know they want to do the cliffhanger thing. With me, though, nah. This ain't what's going to get me coming back. I already want to see what's next because the story was built up great. But I don't think that the freaking the new head taker is going to die. I just don't think he's going to die. That doesn't make sense. And if he does die, okay, screw him. I'm not invested in the character anyway. But come on, man. You don't do that. You don't end a freaking comic book in the middle of comic book combat. You don't do that. That was amateur hour, man. Comics Tribe. Korea. Southern part. Listen, dude, not cool. Not cool. Don't ever do that again. Please don't ever do that again. If this story wasn't so great, if the art wasn't so impressive, if the story wasn't so immersive, I'd have dropped the comic book with this issue. I almost have no interest in seeing what comes next. That wasn't cool. Anyway, guys, my humble opinion, I gave you my 2 cents. I'll wait for change if you wish. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.